Welcome to the Shadows, where power, fear, and rebellion reign supreme. In today's video, we descend into the infernal depths to uncover the demon hierarchy ranking hell's darkest beings. From fallen angels who once stood before the throne of heaven to monstrous lords who command legions of the damned, each tier of hell's order reveals a terrifying glimpse into chaos itself. Who rules the abyss? Who serves, and who suffers? Join us as we unveil the infernal structure of evil, and discover which dark powers truly dominate the underworld. Prepare yourself for the hierarchy of hell. The demon hierarchy, ranking hell's darkest beings. From the earliest whispers of myth to the fiery sermons of medieval priests, humanity has tried to make sense of the invisible forces that seem to tempt, corrupt, and haunt the soul. Across cultures and centuries, demons have been described not as chaotic creatures running amok, but as highly organized entities within a structured infernal order, a dark mirror of heaven's hierarchy. This concept, known as the demon hierarchy, paints hell as a kingdom of cunning and command, ruled by princes, dukes, generals, and legions. But where did this idea come from, and how did it evolve into the complex infernal systems we know today? 1. The birth of infernal order, from chaos to command. The earliest depictions of evil spirits in ancient civilizations, from Mesopotamia's Utukku and Lilu to Egypt's Shidim and Greece's daemons, rarely presented demons as organized. They were chaotic forces of nature, acting independently or serving specific gods. However, as theological systems grew more structured, so did the imagined forces of evil. The roots of a true demonic hierarchy trace back to Judeo-Christian cosmology, particularly after the fall of Lucifer. When the Bible describes Satan's rebellion in passages such as Isaiah 14 and Revelation 12, it implies not a solitary revolt, but an organized insurrection. Satan and his angels were cast out, suggesting an army, a chain of command. Early Jewish writings like the Book of Enoch, circa 2nd century BCE, elaborated on this, describing fallen watchers who taught forbidden knowledge to humans, each responsible for a particular corruption. This early concept laid the groundwork for a structured infernal government. By the time of medieval Christianity, theologians and occult scholars began mapping hell's organization with precision. They imagined a realm that mirrored heaven, with Satan as its monarch, surrounded by princes, ministers, and legions of subordinate spirits, each with specific powers and duties. 2. The three tiers of infernal power. Medieval demonologists commonly divided hell into three primary hierarchies, corresponding to the celestial orders that once served God. Just as heaven had 9 choirs of angels, hell was thought to have 9 orders of demons, each representing a twisted reflection of divine authority. First hierarchy, the unholy trinity. These are the supreme rulers of hell, the archdemons who govern its armies and direct its will. They are counterparts to the Holy Trinity and represent the highest level of infernal command. Lucifer, the light-bearer and original archangel, now the Prince of Pride. Often depicted as the ruler of hell itself, Lucifer embodies rebellion, intellect, and the corruption of divine glory. In some traditions, he is distinct from Satan, serving as the emperor of hell, obsessed with overthrowing divine order through enlightenment and pride. Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies, once a Philistine deity later demonized by Hebrew and Christian texts. Beelzebub is the prince of gluttony and corruption, ruling over the indulgent and the decadent. He is often described as Lucifer's second-in-command, the dark counterpart of the Holy Spirit. Leviathan, the primordial serpent of chaos, representing envy and the consuming abyss. In some medieval grimoires, Leviathan guards the gates of hell, encircling it with his endless coils. He symbolizes the ultimate separation from God, the envy of divine perfection. Together, these three form the infernal trinity, ruling not just with power, but ideology. Lucifer tempts through pride, Beelzebub through excess, and Leviathan through despair and envy. Second hierarchy, princes and rulers of legions. Beneath the Trinity stand the princes and generals of hell, beings who command vast legions of demons and oversee specific sins or domains. Many of these names come from grimoires such as the Ars Goetia, Pseudomonarchia Daemonum, and the Lemmigton, texts that catalogue demons with almost bureaucratic detail. Satan, or Samhael, often distinguished from Lucifer in occult systems, Satan is the prince of wrath and the adversary, the prosecutor of souls. Some traditions identify him as hell's military commander, enforcing its laws with unrelenting cruelty. Belial, the prince of lawlessness and worthlessness. Described in the Dead Sea Scrolls as the leader of the sons of darkness, Belial represents rebellion and decay. In the demonological hierarchy, he is a king who commands 80 legions, tempting humans toward arrogance and independence. Asmodeus, the prince of lust and sensual desire. Originating in Persian myth as Ishma Deva, Asmodeus became known in Christian demonology as a ruler of carnal sin. He governs the corruption of love and fidelity and was famously blamed for the destruction of marriages in the Book of Tobit. Mammon, the prince of greed, often portrayed as a bloated merchant or golden idol. He governs the obsession with wealth and materialism, enslaving souls through avarice and power. Belphegor, the lord of sloth and invention. He lures humans into laziness by offering deceptive genius, inventions and shortcuts that lead to ruin. In Renaissance demonology, he was considered hell's ambassador to France, tempting inventors and dreamers. Each of these princes commands armies of lesser demons, carrying out their designs upon earth. They form the political and military backbone of hell's dominion, managing the balance between corruption and control. Third hierarchy, the servants and soldiers of hell. At the lowest level of the infernal hierarchy are the legions, countless demons who serve under higher princes. These entities perform specific tasks, often interacting directly with humanity through temptation, possession, or deception. Astaroth, once a Phoenician goddess of fertility, Astarte, she was reinterpreted as a duke of hell. Astaroth is the demon of knowledge and forbidden secrets, appearing to magicians to reveal mysteries of the cosmos. Baal, another reimagined deity turned demon, Baal is often cited as the first king of hell in the Lesser Key of Solomon. He rules over 66 legions and is associated with invisibility and cunning. Beur, a spirit of healing and philosophy, paradoxically demonic. Depicted with a lion's head and legs forming a wheel, Beur teaches natural and moral philosophy but twists truth toward corruption. Paimon, the most famous of the Goetic kings, popularized in modern culture. Paimon rides a dromedary and commands 200 legions, teaching science, art, and secrets of the mind. Though loyal to Lucifer, his allegiance wavers, making him one of the more complex figures in hell's hierarchy. Vine, Raum, and Stolas, each of these lesser demons holds titles such as Count, Marquis, or Duke, governing specific territories or skills. Raum steals treasures from kings, Stolas teaches astronomy, and Vine reveals hidden enemies. These beings are the bureaucrats and soldiers of hell, the administrators of damnation. Their interactions with humankind form the backbone of demonic folklore, possession legends, and occult ritual. 3. The Seven Princes of Hell and the Deadly Sins. By the Renaissance, Christian demonology merged the idea of infernal order with moral doctrine, specifically, the seven deadly sins. Each sin was assigned a ruling demon, giving moral failings a cosmic identity. Deadly sin ruling demon title role: Pride Lucifer Emperor of Hell, Fallen Light-bearer Enver Leviathan Serpent of the Deep, Consuming Enviroth Satan Destroyer and Prosecutor Sloth Belphegor Demon of Invention and Decay Greed Mammon Spirit of Wealth and Corruption Gluttony Beelzebub Lord of Flies and Indulgence Lust Asmodeus Prince of Carnal Temptation. This mapping gave theologians a framework to explain human sin as participation in demonic influence. Every vice was not just a moral failing but a summoning, a collaboration with the dark hierarchy. 4. The bureaucracy of hell, medieval and occult systems. As Europe entered the medieval and Renaissance periods, grimoires and occult treatises began cataloguing demons with astonishing detail. Scholars and magicians treated hell's organization almost like a political institution, complete with kings, dukes, earls, and marquises. One of the most influential of these was Johann Weyr's Pseudomonarchia Daemonum, 1577, which listed 69 demons by name, describing their ranks and the number of legions they commanded. This was followed by the Lesser Key of Solomon, 17th century, particularly the Ars Goetia, which expanded the list to 72 spirits. Each demon was given a title, appearance, and function, much like a medieval noble. Hell was imagined as a feudal monarchy, with Lucifer or Satan at the top, princes beneath him, and countless vassals below. These hierarchies often reflected the human world's obsession with order, control, and hierarchy. To magicians, knowing a demon's rank was essential. It determined how one might summon or bind them. For example, a king could not be summoned without elaborate offerings. A duke or earl might be invoked for counsel or minor power. A president or marquis could serve as messengers or reveal hidden knowledge. This occult bureaucracy blurred the line between myth and ritual. Hell was not a chaotic pit, but a shadow empire, an infernal reflection of divine order. 5. Hierarchies beyond Christianity, cross-cultural parallels. Though the Christian demon hierarchy is the most detailed, the idea of structured evil exists in many traditions. Zoroastrianism describes devas under Ahriman, the evil spirit, each governing a moral corruption, an early model for the 7 princes. Islamic demonology features Iblis and his progeny of Shaytan, organized to mislead humanity. Iblis commands hosts of lesser spirits who specialize in specific temptations. In Hinduism, the Asuras form organized realms opposing the Devas, often ruled by powerful kings like Ravana or Mahishasura. In Japanese mythology, the Oni and yokai serve under infernal kings such as Enma, judge of the underworld. These parallels suggest a universal human impulse to project moral evil into organized, purposeful forms, to explain chaos through hierarchy. 6. Modern interpretations, the corporate hell. In modern literature and film, the demon hierarchy has evolved into a metaphor for power and corruption. Authors like John Milton, in Paradise Lost, imagined hell's leaders not as grotesque monsters but fallen angels debating politics and strategy. Milton's Pandemonium, the capital of hell, functioned as a parliament, a chilling reflection of human government. Later works such as Neil Gaiman's Sandman, Dante's Inferno, and even pop culture depictions like Supernatural or Hellboy, continued this tradition. In these portrayals, hell functions like a dark bureaucracy or corporate empire, complete with rival factions, shifting loyalties, and a thirst for souls as currency. The demon hierarchy, then, is not just theology, it's psychology. It externalizes human power structures, showing that even in rebellion, order emerges. Hell is a mirror of humanity's systems, ambition, hierarchy, greed, and control taken to their ultimate, infernal extreme. 7. The philosophical meaning of infernal order. At its core, the demon hierarchy represents a profound paradox: evil that is organized. The idea that fallen beings, born of chaos and rebellion, could form a structured kingdom reflects the complexity of moral order itself. Some theologians interpret the hierarchy as the persistence of divine order, even in rebellion, proof that all creation, even fallen, cannot escape structure. Others view it as a warning that the same hierarchical ambition driving angels to fall continues in humanity's obsession with dominance and power. Lucifer's kingdom, in this sense, is not merely a place of torment but a symbol of perverted order, the beauty of divine structure turned toward tyranny and self-worship. Hell's Empire of Shadows. The demon hierarchy remains one of the most haunting and enduring mythic systems ever conceived. It transforms hell from a mere pit of suffering into a kingdom, vast, intelligent, and terrifyingly ordered. From the unholy trinity of Lucifer, Beelzebub, and Leviathan to the countless dukes, princes, and legions below, each layer of this infernal empire reflects humanity's deepest fears, that evil is not chaotic, but organized. Dive deep into the infernal realms as we uncover the demon hierarchy, ranking hell's darkest beings. From Lucifer's throne to the lowest pits of torment, discover how demons are ranked, their powers, domains, and the terrifying order that governs the forces of evil. Learn who commands the legions of the damned and which ancient texts reveal their hidden structure. perfect for fans of mythology, theology, and the occult. Subscribe for more explorations into dark history and forbidden knowledge. Dare to know what lies beyond. The truth about Hell's hierarchy awaits.